if you're not yet subscribed, I really wonder, are we fighting? You are not subscribed, but you watch this video till now. Are we fighting? Please subscribe. Tell them to subscribe, please. Look at a solicitor begging. Do you know who he is?
If you reach this place,
an international UK lawyer, working in an international law firm. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Couscous, and if you haven't watched the previous episode where I featured Dotun, please go and watch it because it is a progression. The information is progressing from all his job experiences in the UK, how he secured those roles, and in this episode we're going to talk about the interview process. So he's going to take us through the interview process, the interview questions, and then at the end of the day, Dotun is going to advise us or just give us tips, practical tips that he used that worked for him. Okay, so basically, if you don't know what we're talking about securing a job in the UK as a lawyer without qualifying as a solicitor in the UK. Welcome back, Wayne. Welcome back, Dotun. Thank you so much for doing this. Okay, there's no need introducing yourself again, because if you haven't watched the part one, please pause and go back and watch, okay? Because you will not really understand. You understand what I mean? Okay. Before we even continue this video, like, we've been having like backstories, and you really inspire me. Well done.
Let's go.
Well done. I think you're very hardworking, you're very determined, and I'm happy that our paths crossed during my LLM program. So you're going to tell us, okay, in the previous video, basically you took us through like 5 job experiences, or 5 or 4 thereabout, that you had, the application processing and everything. You said you got those jobs on LinkedIn, but you had to go through interview, because it's not just sending your application. You'll be invited for interview. I've had a couple of interviews and I know what it is, but we want to hear your experience. For your last role, which is a sponsored role, you're going to, it's a sponsored role, like, for the employer, has the capacity to sponsor him for his work visa here in the UK. That's like 5 years work visa, right? Now, wow, levels. These things are in levels. So you're going to tell us the interview process. You said there were 5 different stages. So start from when you sent out your application. In fact, start from when you saw. Okay, you've already told us how you saw the job vacancy.
Yeah.
So let's start from the very first interview invite.
Okay, so the very first interview was with someone who is actually my colleague right now, like literally my level. Okay. Like, when he picked up my CV on LinkedIn, interestingly, it's not one of my better CVs, if I'm going to be honest.
The one you sent for the job?
Yeah, the one I initially posted. Because I didn't send a second CV. It was just that
okay, the first one.
So the first time she called me, we're at a party. We're in a party in Aspire.
Okay.
I stepped out. I didn't know the number. I stepped out. It's like, oh, hi, this is so and so. I saw your distance, and are you free for a chat? Yeah, so bros, I'm free for a chat. Then he asked me just basic technical M&A questions.
Like what?
So he asked me
on the phone, instantly.
Instantly on the phone. Like, so he's going to ask me a bit of like technical questions. He said the first thing he asked me is, what are the ways to acquire a company? That was the first thing, and basically it's share purchase and asset purchase. So just based off my experience in Nigeria and then my masters, and so there's a bit of other like basic technical questions: who is seller, who is buyer, or what are the other kind of parties involved. Just normal technical questions.
The role you were applying for, was it an M&A role?
At the time, it was a paralegal M&A.
Okay. So at least there was M&A there. Yeah. So he asked you questions specific to the role.
Yeah, specific to the role.
Okay.
And then after that, he was like, wow. It was almost like he hit gold,
Yeah, because he just put you on the spot.
Yeah,
and
like right there on the spot, right there. I mean, that was coming from party.
I
had to like.
That's why I say your brain is hot. Your brain is hot.
So please. So after that, the next day, he forwarded me for a general counsel interview. At the time, it was just him and the general counsel that were working in the legal team. It was quite small. Then I think 2 days after, I had a conversation with the general counsel. Just actually with him and the general counsel. We're all on the Zoom meeting, and then the general counsel was just a very nice person. Just, oh, how are you? just basically his questions were more driven towards like HR and compatibility with the organization and kind of team they want to grow.
So that means the first interview had tested your technical knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Now they are testing your human relations.
Yeah, my human relationship. And then we just had a nice conversation, very, very nice conversation. He gave me a bit of a technical question, which was, he said, after this interview, I'm going to send you an asset purchase agreement. I want you to just review it. So I saw that, got the agreement, reviewed it. As I was reading that, I was like, God, please.
Was it a kind of agreement that you had done before in Nigeria?
Yeah. No, well, not in Nigeria particularly, but I'd encountered it during my master's. So we had, interestingly, because of COVID, we had a repository in M&A at least, where all our documents were transaction documents. So I just took that.
In your LLM course?
Yeah, my LLM course.
Okay.
In particularly mergers and acquisition.
Mergers and acquisition.
As a course.
Yeah.
So I just took that document, took this one, and I was just reading it with the eyes of what I had learned.
Okay.
And then was marking things. And then that's really...
So it shows that your LLM is very practical. That's what I observe as well. The LLM is very practical to what is happening in the industry.
Very, very practical because my LLM was transactional.
Yeah. Okay.
So after that, then the conversation died for a good. He forgot for no, I won't say he forgot. He got now that I'm inside, he got busy. He actually got very busy, and did not forward me for the founders interview. Now 3-4 months down the line, I see that they are recruiting.
Months.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Days, 1 weeks, months.
Okay. So you had the first 2 interviews. And then months.
And then months. I reached out to the hiring manager on LinkedIn and said, you bro, that I'm this person. I've been a candidate of interest. I had an interview with this person who is general counsel. And general counsel is the recruitment manager's boss. So he was like, wow.
Really?
Like, yeah. So he went back to general counsel. Because general counsel said, oh yeah, that guy, yeah, pick him up. So I had an interview with the recruitment manager. The next day, I had...
Tell us about the interview with the recruitment manager.
So with recruiters, it's nothing technical because they are not in the core of the business. They just recruit for the business. So he could just ask me general HR questions. Like, what are my values? What do I look for in an organization? How do I escalate things? Just what are my salary expectations? What are my expectations? What is my background? So things like that. And they basically, I think I've not done a recruitment role, but what I think they do is they just tick boxes. What's how many years experience do you have? Okay, what your master's in? And things like that. They just tick boxes, and then once you check out, they will forward you to. Now I got forwarded to one of the heads of the M&A team. We have 2 co-heads. I had an interview with her. It was a technical interview again.
So what did she ask you? Did she ask you questions that was already asked or something different?
So she asked me some of the questions that had been asked previously. Just very many. This one, it was now like deeper technical things. We started from elementary things like share purchase, asset purchase. Then we went deeper into things like consultancy after purchasing from a seller. Like what do you, if you want to retain his services, what do? You engage him as a consultant. Went deeper into things like
so these were scenario questions. As usual.
Yeah, practical questions, and then went into things like warranties and indemnities. When do you use a warranty? What kind of indemnities do you use? And just deeper and deeper tax.
All around M&A.
All around M&A. Generally, that would do with the business. Having had that interview, she gave the feedback back to the recruitment manager, who then forwarded me to the next M&A co-head.
This is interview number 5.
So 1, 2,
this is step
3,
5.
4. Yeah, this is 5. Actually, at 6.
Hey.
So who then forwarded me to the next M&A head, and she was really nice as well. We just spoke technical as well. Just around the same subject matter, M&A, my experience, why my motivation to join the organization, what kind of team I'm looking to work in, and things like that. Then after that, they said one last interview was good. I'm like, who else do you want to speak to? You want me to speak to you? And I've spoken to GC, I've spoken to the 2 M&A heads. I even thought it was going to be one of the founders, but they were like, okay, you would speak with someone in the investment team because you'll be working very closely. So I work very closely with investment guys. So there was one of the guys that they brought to me. So him and I, we just spoke generally about investment. At that time, I knew that I had gone too deep for them to
to just
Yeah,
let
yeah,
you
yeah.
go.
I've done what 5 interviews. So
Okay.
and this guy was relatively young as well. So we could relate a lot. Spoke about investment, spoke about cryptocurrency, spoke about portfolios. Nothing. That one was now nothing that had to do with M&A as such.
M&A.
It was just general conversation, you know. And after I had that conversation, I think 2 days later, I got my, or 3 days later, I think it was the weekend I fell in between. I got my offer, and then
Oh
And
my!
then-
How did you feel? Ha! Finally,
I was
after
like, I never expected it.
I never experienced.
Yeah. I don't
No,
know.
but you should have experienced
Yeah.
because you went through a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. I won't lie.
I must commend you.
Thank you. It was a lot. I won't lie. And that time
Try.
we were still battling dissertation at that time,
Imagine, oh.
bro.
So which one were you now focusing, school or work? But you know, it just shows that you need to just know what you want because time waits for no man. Imagine you had waited to finish dissertation before picking it. You don't even. Oh my goodness.
So finally got the offer.
You like the offer?
Bro.
Uh-huh.
As he does the talk, I said, thank you. Thank you.
How did you got the offer via email?
So he called me. He called me before he sent it in the offer. He's like,
Who
oh,
now?
the hiring manager.
The HR.
Yeah,
Okay.
the hiring manager. Like, oh hi, I just want to tell you congratulations. We finally accepted you, blah blah
Oh
blah
my
blah. This is our
God.
offer, these are the terms, this is the price. I want you to confirm prior to me sending you.
Okay, that you are comfortable with them.
Yes. Yes.
Aww.
I confirmed, then he sent in this thing. And I confirmed that.
And you liked it.
It's pretty
It
good.
was worth it.
It's pretty good.
It was worth the effort. So at that point, you forgot all the suffering that you.
Yeah.
Because it was worth it.
Yeah.
It's not all those big companies that will be stressing you out. Though at the end of the day, it's not worth it.
Yeah. So I mean, it was worth it, and then.
I guess if a company has the capacity to sponsor work visa, then they must pay well.
Yeah. To be very honest, most companies I've come across that have capacity to sponsor pay decently well.
So you're now
Pay
an
decently well.
you are an M&A counsel
Yeah.
in this firm.
Yeah, I'm an associate legal counsel M&A because there's IP,
Okay.
there's compliance. I think so. I'm associate legal counsel M&A within the
I
organization.
think I'm more keen towards compliance because that's basically what I've been doing as in-house counsel in Nigeria, regulatory compliance and everything.
We have
Ooh.
compliance department too.
Yeah, I like compliance, and I've been also applying for some compliance
I've
roles.
seen some compliance wrong.
Yeah, maybe you put me through because me and you.
That's fine.
Thank you so much for taking us through that interview process. As Dotun has, made mention, I've not seen anybody who got a job in any legal role in the UK that the process was easy. It's a long process that you have to get ready for it. If you want to get it, you must be patient enough and you must be tenacious enough to go through all the process, okay? And I hope that when you go through this process, you're also going to have success just like Dotun. So thank you so much for staying tuned. Before we go, Dotun is just going to, based on your experience, you're going to give us tips, what we should prepare for during this interview, how we should respond to questions, both technical and soft skills, okay? Because I know that you were not the only one that they had interviewed.
Yeah.
So there must have been something. And did you also get feedback throughout this process?
Yeah.
So yes, using the feedback, you're going to now give us like expo tips. Because me, I'm going to be applying to what I should use because I'm going to take all this information in. That's why I love this channel, because while I'm interviewing you guys, I'm also learning. I'm always learning as well.
I like it.
You like my
I
job?
can't lie.
So Datu is going to give us tips, okay? Apparently, you don't need to be in M&A to apply for an M&A role. It means you don't need to be... The funny thing is that in the UK, you don't need to be a lawyer to work in a law firm because they have all those other technical departments.
Oh yeah, fair.
sciences and all of
Business
that.
development,
Yeah. So, according to other people as well, you need not actually have to be in that particular field to apply and get hired for that role. So now, you haven't been qualified in the UK, but you're now working as a solicitor in the UK. Give us tips. What do you think we should prepare for? What do you think we should do to get ourselves ready? And when we get that interview invite, what are the most important factors that we should take into consideration? And based on the feedback that you also got. I know I'm talking too much, sorry, but you get the point.
Yeah, I'm trying to also construct like the answer in my mind. I think I've been enough interviews to know two things, to know a couple things. One is that interviews are either always technical or HR. And you must always know the kind of interview that is coming to you. because to determine the type of question.
How will you know?
This is how you will know. When they send you interview invites, they always, I've been enough interviews also to know that they always tell you who the interviewer will be.
Okay.
So don't just sit on that email. Take the name of the interviewer. Google search. Google is the widest search engine in the world. Google search it. When you know the name of the person, look at the person's specialization. If you find out the person is in HR, it's an HR interview. If you find out the person is partner in a technical, it's a technical interview. So once you know that, kind of do a background search on the person. If you need to open the person's LinkedIn profile, open it. Let the person see that I'm looking at you, you're looking at me. Let's look at each other. Let's understand, because it's going to foster conversation.
Yeah.
So once you know who is interviewing you, I know the type of interview. The structure of interviews, I've been enough to know the structure is this. One is they're going to ask you, is that they tell you about themselves first and what the role is. Then they ask you about yourself, or they tell us about yourself, then they tell you about the role. So either of those two comes first. Then they ask you technical questions or motivation questions, depending on if it is a technical or HR interview. If it's HR, it's motivation questions. Why do you want this job? Why do you want this company? Why should we pick you? Questions around that. Why do you think you're a perfect fit? Those things are usually culture. You should browse the culture of the organization, their values. It follows your own value system, you know. If it's technical, they ask technical questions. Then after that, most importantly, they ask you, do you have any questions? You see that, do you have any questions? It is what I call an open check.
Ask away.
I have, if after this interview, I'll show you my phone. I have a list of questions that I always ask. I have developed a notepad for a list of questions that I always ask, that I've seen over time through research that they are good questions to ask in an interview. And then once you ask one question, you see how they respond. You can now take the leap and bounce off that question to other questions you didn't think about. Or you can just read your next question, but don't now read the verbatim. Just have a conversation here. Like, okay, you can always ask them questions about themselves. If it's the founder, what made you start this company? Where do you see this company in 10 years? Why should I join this organization? What qualities are you looking for? Which kind of employee will fail in this organization?
Wow, those are deep questions.
Yeah, these are questions that show that you are thinking about the organization,
not yourself.
Not yourself. It's not, please give me a job. It's, I want to ensure that I'm entering the right organization and I buy into the founder's vision. So once you can have those
wisdom,
once you can have those questions at hand, it never catches you off guard when they say, do you have any questions? The biggest mistake you can make in an interview,
you say no.
They ask you, do you have any questions?
And you say no.
No,
not really.
If I have, I'll get back to you.
No way.
That is the end. So literally, that was pretty much it. And what else do I do before I organize? I sleep well, I eat well, I research my interviewer, I prepare my questions, be personable. I heard something in a program that I went for, and the person said interviewers are as nervous as the interviewee.
Wow, I'm just hearing that for the first time.
There are people sitting across the table are as nervous as you, because they want to also make a good impression on you, because they are genuinely looking for talent. They want you to succeed, so they are genuinely looking for talent as well. So everybody wants a colleague that when it's difficult, when we're working at 9 p.m., I'm not saying we're going to work at 9 p.m. When we're working at 9 p.m., I can look across the room and crack a joke with this person. This person is personable, he's not a robot.
So don't come off as being too technical. You are human, be sociable.
Yeah, pretty much that's it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Like, I don't even want this video to end because I feel like we have a lot to learn. So at the end of the day, you can work as a lawyer, and this should also apply to other fields, because if you are not qualified in the UK but you're working as in-house counsel in an international organization, it means you don't even need to qualify, you know, depending on the field. I know that as a medical doctor, you need to write the medical exams in the UK, but even if you don't write, you can still probably work in the medical field. Accounting is even easier because they have professional qualification, you know, world. It's like IT. So it's very easy for you not to even qualify in the UK, but you have the job that you need, your desired job. Okay, so thank you so much, Jotun, for this video. I have learned a lot and I hope you have. Appreciate him in the comments. See, you people appreciate him in the comment section, because if you don't, I'm not going to bring the next caller. I have another person that I've told you already that also got a job in the UK as a lawyer as well. And if you guys don't show enough appreciation, enough enthusiasm, I'm not going to bring them, because I take their time and it is a lot of sacrifice on their part. So thank you so much. Let me see your thumbs up in this video. Let me see your comments. Let me see questions. If you have further questions for Dotun, please ask away. Feel free to ask your questions that that will help you in this journey.
Please, professional questions.
Professional questions, please. Questions related to this video. If you have questions that are not related to this video, ask me. I'll always find an answer for you. If I don't get that, I'll bring somebody that can answer. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for staying tuned. Thank you, Dotun, and congratulations. Okay, guys, basically we are not saying that if you do this, let's say that you do this and it doesn't work for you, don't blame us. Don't say that we promised that you will get a job, but give it a try. And if something works for one person, it means that there's a likelihood that it's going to work for you. I'm going to try it out. You guys look out for, I'm going to get a job very soon. I know, because I have a lot of people around me who have done this and it has worked for them. So let me stop talking, because I just like to talk. This is my channel. This is our channel. If you're not yet subscribed, I really wonder, are we fighting? You are not subscribed, but you watch this video till now. Are we fighting? Please subscribe. Tell them to subscribe, please. Look at a solicitor begging. Do you know who he is?
Reach this place,
an international UK lawyer, working in an international law firm. You have not subscribed. Thank you, guys.
Subscribe.
All right, we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
And in 3, 2.
Action.
With recruiters, they just want, it's nothing technical, because with recruiters, it's nothing technical, because